Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina. I'm your host, Tina Thompson. Kindness, my goodness, kindness is one of those things where I like to think that it comes naturally to me, but sometimes we have bad days and we got to remind ourselves that being kind is something that is pretty cool to do. Kindness is something I have seen throughout our community quite a bit lately, and I love it because we've got some really cool, awesome kids in the community. And I've got a young man who I found out just a few days ago about how inspirational and what a great kid he is. Going to have him on a little later in the show, highlight him and recognize him for what he's doing. And also, I do have a wonderful and amazing lady who's coming up next. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and she's going to share her story. But the reason I asked her to be on is that there are some awesome schools in the county, Fairfield County, that are doing some things to help out a little girl. A lot of them are selling t-shirts, and we will just speak a little bit about Tracy's story. Tracy will speak a little bit about Reese, because Reese is not able to be here and stuff, but if you want to help support her, you can always go and find Reese Strong, and you could probably buy a shirt if you haven't already. I know my daughter has. They've done things at my daughter's school, and Reese attends a different school within the county, but it's just pretty cool, the things that are so positive that the kids are doing for this little girl. And with that, I think that being kind is the biggest part of what these kids are doing. They're being kind to somebody else. Being kind to another person, actually, if you didn't realize this, if somebody's witnessing your kindness, if you're the one being kind and the person that's receiving the kindness, you are affecting so many folks that are watching you. An easy act of kindness. I mean, it's a matter of opening a door for somebody and somebody witnessing it. And it's just, I don't know, it's awesome stuff. But what I wanted to tell you about kindness also, just real quickly, before we get to my guest, is that I watched a show recently, and I'm one of those folks where I'm hoping that I can pass on the kindness that I do, that my daughter or my son see me, that they will get that part of me, and I call that as being one of the best parts of me. And in the show, it was a gal who was at the end of her days, and she looked at her granddaughter and she said to her, she said, "You've got the best of me." Folks, by being kind, you're actually hopefully showing the very best of you to your children or child, your grandchildren, your nieces or nephews, because kindness is something that you can just do it, and it's absolutely free. So with that, why don't you get out there and do something kind for somebody today? It's Down Home with Tina. I'll be back in a few.
At Dagger Law, we have more than 110 years of combined expertise in nearly every part of law.
What I think sets us apart from any other law firm is our ability to work together.
With us, you're getting a trusted partner, in addition to a team who can help you with a growing business, changing family, planning your future, or dealing with land issues.
It's a challenge every day, and you meet an awful lot of nice people.
Your case matters. We'll take the time and the energy to ensure that you have a quality experience, quality representation.
Whatever you need, we have a lawyer who can help. Dagger Law. Local, trusted, experienced.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Tina Thompson, your host of Down Home with Tina. I'm really super excited because there are so many things that we see on social media that's not quite as awesome as what I've got with me today. Is a young fella that I saw a story a couple of weeks ago that a lady decided to give a shout out to a young man who, and Tommy is going to have to explain all of it to us, because I only know this much about it because I love to find out from the actual person. But he does some things at his school, Gorsuch Elementary, and so kind of a little backstory on it. It started out, I woke up on a Sunday morning and I went through my Facebook page, and I see that this lady on one of the great social sites in Lancaster that says, there's this little boy with green hair that takes my daughter from the bus to class each morning, and he says something kind to her, and I want you to share all of that part of it. But I thought, oh my goodness, Mrs. Garrett, who is the principal at Gorsuch Elementary, I thought, I'm going to email her, and I'm going to ask her if there's any chance that I could get this young fella on the show. Didn't know who he was or anything other than a little bit of his description. And that's when on Monday morning I said, oh my goodness. So I sent that email Sunday, but I thought I'm going to call, because if we can make this happen, this is going to be a really good thing. There are so many kids, folks, that are in our community that we don't know that they do good for us. And I know that Tommy is on Safety Patrol, is what it's called. And Tommy, welcome to the show, and I'm so excited to have you. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I love doing Safety Patrol because I like to see people smile in the morning and stuff.
Awesome. What's it do for you
When
when you see that? I mean, how does it?
It makes me
begin your
happy.
day? It does, yeah. And that's part of what I think even just being kind, it does for others. Because I did something a long time ago that, and I still do it today. I started it years ago about sharing positive quotes because I wanted people to smile. And you know what I realized it was doing for me? It was making me smile in return. And I thought, oh my goodness, so sometimes when we do things for other people, I don't think we realize until we start doing it on a regular basis how it's actually making our day begin a little brighter. So have you met different kids in doing this?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I didn't know went to the school that I'm friends with now because I've been doing this. And also, like, I met the little girl we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes by doing this. So,
Yeah, okay, so what grade are you in?
5th grade.
So what does it take to qualify to be on Safety Patrol?
Well, really, you just need to sign the papers and you get to do it. But if you get, like, so many things that you've done bad that you get kicked off.
Okay, so for you, you want to continue to do
Yeah.
good because this is like an incentive for you to make people smile. Oh my goodness, I think that is so awesome. So how long have you been doing this? Is this your first year?
Well, 4th grade starts getting trained if you want to. So I did a little bit of training for the last bit of the year in 4th grade. And then this year I'm doing Safety Patrol, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to train some 4th graders this year.
Oh, okay, so you get to be somewhat of a mentor on top
Yeah.
of all of this. All right, so how many people do you think that you have met in this process since 4th grade?
Probably over 100.
Really? Do you get to remain friends after you do this duty?
Yeah.
You do. Awesome. Yeah. What do you think that they're taking away from this and seeing you do this for them?
They're thinking that maybe they want to do it.
Yeah. You're like a role model for somebody who might be interested. You seem like that you are very outgoing. Are you an outgoing kind of kid? Sort of.
Sort of, yeah.
This probably helps you, right?
Yeah.
To be outgoing because you're forced and you're put in it. So let's talk a little bit about the different grades that you do Safety Patrol. Is it from kindergarten up through 5th grade?
No. So basically 4th grade, around the end of the year, every 4th grader gets a little thing asking if they want to be trained by 2 5th graders. And if they sign it, which I did, they could go on to be Safety Patrol if they get accepted. And then in 5th grade, you could be a actual member of Safety Patrol instead of
Okay.
just training.
Okay, so you only train in 4th grade.
Yeah.
That's all just training.
Like, you
process.
do everything in 4th grade, too, but it's all leading up to the 5th grade year where if you want to be in Safety Patrol, you know what to do.
So you're the top dog in Safety Patrol world,
Yeah.
right? You're the one that's showing everybody how it's done, pretty much. Yeah, the right and wrong way. Have you ever had to help somebody say, hey, that's not the right way? And how do you do
Yeah.
that as somebody in charge, or the top dog, I call it?
Well, there's this group of boys that every day they just run down the sidewalk, and you're not supposed to run.
okay.
If you fall, you could hurt yourself or hurt someone else. So we always have to tell them to walk.
How do you do that? Is it tough to have that kind of, I call it authority, amongst sometimes your peers?
No, really, we're nice the first couple of times, but if they don't do it, then we actually have to be like serious
Okay.
to tell them to stop.
Do you have to go to somebody else that's higher in charge, like a teacher, if they
Well,
don't
yeah,
stop? Because it's
if
for
they
safety.
don't stop, I have to go tell the teachers who like run this part of safety patrol.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us about this shout out that I saw on social media the other day. And then did your parents see it? Did you know
Yeah.
anything about it? Oh, so they did see it.
Mhm.
Okay. Did they see it prior to you did school? No?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so tell me a little bit about what happened there.
So there's this little girl named Aaliyah that on the first full day of kindergarten, her mom was dropping her off and she didn't know where to go. And I was going to walk her up. So I walked her up, and then the next day I walked her up. And I've been doing that for so long. And every day I say hi to her, and then I walk her up, and then I say, have a nice day.
Every day.
Mhm.
Because you want everybody to have a nice day, don't you?
Mhm.
I think that's pretty cool. So
And something that me and my friend Alex do, we're both in the same part of safety patrol. When we open a car door and we let the kids out, when they're all out, we say have a good day to the parents too.
oh my goodness, Tommy, what you're doing and the effect that you're having on other folks, not just the kids in the school. I think that is so great. So I think that you are such an amazing young man. And so I want you, I do a little volunteer program in another school. Have you ever done a power pose?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No, I do
Okay,
not.
so I won't make you do that here on the TV show today. But what I want you to do is at some point, if you'll promise me that you'll stand up with your arms raised to the sky and tell yourself, I am amazing. Because, young man, that is exactly what you are. You are an amazing young man making a positive difference. And I got goosebumps. So what I'm going to do for the Safety Patrol down here with Tina, I would like to give you guys a pizza party. If you're willing to have a pizza party, just because of what you are doing for the students at Gorsuch Elementary. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yay! I'm so proud of you and I'm so happy. Y'all, I'm so excited to get the opportunity here with Down Home with Tina to have young fellas and hopefully some young ladies at some point that can come on and just share their story about the positive difference that they are making in the community. And maybe we'll just get some pictures and stuff and have to show them on social media. And with that, you can always watch the show Down Home with Tina on Facebook with Down Home with Tina. And I'm going to come back here and I am going to play a game and have some fun in just a little bit. You don't want to miss out on that because, I don't know, are you able to stay for just a couple more minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe
If
we'll stay a couple more
it's
minutes.
up to Ms. Garrett.
Yeah. We'll just make sure the principal, and we'll spend a couple of minutes doing that so you can play a game with us.
Okay.
Does that sound fun?
Yep.
Because it's all about just sitting back, relaxing, having a good time, and making great and fun memories. You are watching Down Home with Tina.
Hi, I'm Amanda Wattenberg, Regional Director at Ohio Guidestone. Do you or does someone you know have a substance abuse disorder? Have you been thinking about getting help, but don't know where to start? It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, but it's the most important step you can take. If you think you know everything that's available in Fairfield County, think again. Like other chronic diseases, addiction can be managed successfully. Treatment enables people to counteract addiction's powerful, disruptive effects on the brain's behavior and regain control of their lives. Even if it takes multiple attempts, treatment does work and people do recover from addiction every day. So keep trying because your life matters. You matter, and we're here to help. Call 211 and ask for the treatment resources available right here in Fairfield County.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
Hello, everybody. It is Down Home with Tina Thompson, the host of the show. This is the day all about kindness, and I know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there is a whole lot of awesome, kind things going on. In the month of September, I got to see and witness some really cool things of what some of the kids are doing in the different high schools in Fairfield County, and it is all surrounded by a young lady by the name of Reese Shirey. And when I saw that, it was just kind of like, oh my goodness, I want to do something. I want to have something. I want to talk a little bit about it just because of what the kids are doing. But Tracy Mahler is here today. She is a breast cancer survivor, and she is also very involved at, Fairfield Union Schools, Rushville Middle School. Tracy, you yourself, you have experienced some things that I felt that was important for us to share about the positivity of what the kids are doing for Reese and what they did for you. How many years has it been now?
So it was 4 years ago, in August, that I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, triple negative. I have the BRCA gene, and I work for Fairfield Union Schools. So I found out my diagnosis literally 2 days before school started.
Oh, wow.
And I had a choice then to start school the same day that everybody else started, but I was going to be starting treatment pretty immediately.
Okay.
And so I, the day before school started, told all the teachers.
You, without a doubt, you thought, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it out there and let folks know what's happening.
So I told all of the teachers the day before school started, and then after school got started, I thought about how I was going to handle it with the kids in our building because, I was very nervous. I mean, I was very nervous about my health, about like the changes my body was going to go through, just my physical appearance. So after about a week, I decided that I would tell our student body, and I told them in large at the same time. Yes, and it was probably the best decision that I made, hands down, with everything that I had to go through. It was the best decision because most of them took it like, okay. And it put me in the mindset of, okay, because it wasn't a scary telling your family member where they think, something bad's going to happen. They took it in stride with, all right, let's do this.
Let's fight this.
Right.
Is really what you were probably seeing from them.
Yes.
I mean, because these young kids, they've got all that, what do we call it, spunk in them, and they're just like, okay, yep, you know what, we're just going to do this. And it was like, we're going to do this, like they were going through this with you. Do you think they were seeing it kind of like that?
Most definitely. And, kids nowadays have this invincible feeling about themselves.
Yes,
they all
do.
think that everything that they go through, that it's always going to be in a positive note. I'm the best at this. I can do this. Kids nowadays just feel like they are empowered to do everything. And so when they have that kind of energy, then the only thing that can happen was a positive effect on me. And and these are young kids at my building, grades 5 through 8. So they are young, and for the most of them, if they have known anybody that's had cancer, it's been maybe a grandparent or an older person. Most people have not experienced at that age somebody that's young or close to them that has experienced cancer. So for me, they were like my little cheerleaders.
Right.
They're the ones that came to school every day asking how I was doing. They're the ones that came to school every day noticing if I was having a bad day. But they were the ones that were writing me little notes and leaving them on my desk. And without, making little gifts, dropping things off. Their parents were stopping me because they were going home and talking to their parents about somebody at school. And they were using correct terminology.
Nice.
I mean, I was teaching them, I joked that a lot of 5th grade boys were saying the word breast, and it wasn't a giggling moment.
Correct.
You know, they were learning in the process what it meant to have a genetic mutation in my DNA. They were learning the proper terminology for what breast cancer is, what a mastectomy was, what everything that I was going through. They knew what chemotherapy was. They knew how I got it into a port in my chest. So it was an educational experience for them as well as a learning experience of me, of how gratitude can change your whole outlook.
Yeah. And what do you think that it did for these kids, giving them the opportunity? I guess I say giving them the opportunity because they're the ones that actually did some of the things that they did for you. And what were some of those things that they had? Well, they continue it. I mean, they're continuing, right? Every year. I know you do something, but to do something for breast care, for cancer.
Yeah, I think it's taught a lot of our community how you look beyond what can I do for myself, and you look at what can I do for others. And I know with our soccer program at the time, you know, my son, my middle son was a junior, and we did a big cancer game that year for the boys and girls teams. And the year after my diagnosis, we had another teacher in our district that had, you know, a different kind of cancer. And then the next year we had a student that had cancer. And so they've come to realize that this is not just a one-time thing where you support one person.
Right.
It's a collection of, there are lots of people going through things at different times. And just because that first year, you know, my name was on the t-shirt, it still represents we are doing something for the greater good of everybody who is suffering from this disease. And that's why this year with Reese, it was a all in. We started at our building when we found out of her diagnosis last spring, making signs. When our track team went to Liberty Union in the spring, you know, we had banners on our buses because we wanted to show them the kind of character we have, that we can care about somebody outside of our community.
Yeah, it goes beyond the rival in that sport.
Yes.
And what they're going against.
Yes.
It is really, you have that, you're wanting to win, but the bigger picture is we're all fighting for Reese to win. And this is for folks who aren't familiar with Reese. She is a little girl who is right now battling and fighting. It's a form of leukemia. I don't know all of the details. We're hoping to get her on, but we're just going to keep her in our thoughts and prayers that she'll get strong enough to eventually join us here on the Down Home with Tina show. But she's now 11. I think her birthday was in August. And she is who everybody, a lot of the schools in Fairfield County are doing something for Reese Strong in this last, I know, football season, and hopefully it'll continue on.
Yeah.
Isn't it, Tracy? I mean, that's what it's really these kids that are coming together to fight.
Well, Reese's dad is the varsity football coach at Liberty Union. And it just so happened that when Reese's parents were first married, they lived next door to me for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
So when Reese was born, she was living in the house right next door to mine.
You knew
so it's kind of one of those situations where her parents had known me and watched what I had gone through and the amount of support that I was given. And now they know how I understand the outpouring of love that they're getting because
what it can do for
it can do for her
and her.
And you know, she was able to come to our Kicking Cancer event a couple weeks ago at Fairfield Union, and unfortunately she has not been able to come to some of the other events recently Fairfield Union also does a block-out cancer game, and they did it in her honor, which was last Thursday against Liberty Union High School, and Reese was not able to attend.
Right. Yeah.
So we were very fortunate, and the soccer program was very fortunate because she got to be there. And, you know, I don't know how else you can explain to somebody the feeling that you get when you give to somebody until you see it in somebody else's eyes.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
yeah. I think that it's awesome with everything we've got. And I know that we are getting out of here, but I just wanted to take just a minute and just thank you for everything that you've done, the fight that you've given, and the kids, and being that positive support to the kids as well, and teaching them what they do need to know. And so we've got certificates for you as on staff at Rushville Middle School, and continuing to make a difference, a certificate from Walker Shoe Center and Ava Jewelers, and a $20 gift card from Ale House 1890. Enjoy that, and thank you, Tracy, so much for doing what you're doing, and just keep on those kids. Make sure they're positive in school, because she's there every day. Folks, I'm going to come back here. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. If you're just tuning in, I have got a wonderful, inspirational young man from Gorsuch Elementary who is part of Safety Patrol, and he has made a positive difference, we know, in at least one little kindergartner this year by helping her to class and get there safely, as well as many others. He was telling us that train all the kids in 4th grade, and then in 5th grade you get to be the top dog. No, I called it the top dog, to have the responsibility just to make sure that the kids get to school safely. And I just love that we have got young folks in the community doing that. But before we get to our game that we're going to play today, I want to thank some of my sponsors. I want to thank Ale House 1890, Donald Law Office, Huddle Tire Company, as well as Ava Jewelers. They're the reason why we can be here. And I always try to do this part before I get into the game because I get to laughing so much, it's really hard. Folks, you can tune in and watch Down Home with Tina on Spectrum 1021, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 10 a.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m. The YouTube channel, and that is CLN, Your Hometown Connection, as well as Facebook, Down Home with Tina. I ask that you keep sharing so that way we can continue to spread the words about the inspirational folks we have in the community. And now we're going to play our game. This is where I put this little contraption in my mouth. And little Tommy, here I say little Tommy. Tommy's about my height, so he's not so little. I don't know why I say that. I say that about puppies. I say that about old puppies. They're little puppies. They're not little puppies. Some of them are 100 pounds. But that's just, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't offend you, Tommy.
It's fine.
Okay, so you gotta figure out what I'm saying.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here's where at races.
What?
Here's where at races. Herds.
Birds.
Uh-huh. Lair.
Where?
Back.
Back
And
races.
tizzy. Races.
Laces.
Races.
Braces.
Yes. Here's where at races.
Birds wear back braces.
Yoo-hoo, good job. Okay, now, parsnips. Parsnips? Parsnips are my favorite vegetable. Do you have any idea?
No, I don't.
Parsnips? Parsnips.
Hornets.
Parsnips? Parsnips, I don't know.
Washers.
Okay, we're going to just search. Powerful agriculture. I don't think we can do it. My house hurts. Divide
Divide
the pizza.
the pizza.
Freedom.
What?
Freedom.
Freedom?
Yeah. Divide the pizza. Freedom.
Divide the pizza freedom?
Sorry. Good job, buddy. On Down Home with Tina, you always get treats. So I want to make sure that you get some cookies, and I have some chocolate chip cookies. They have walnuts in them for Mrs. Garrett as well, so that way you guys can have a tasty treat that hopefully you can enjoy when you walk away. So is that too tough? Tongue contraption kind of hurts a little bit on the math. But I hope that it's something that maybe you guys can do down the road, a game, something fun for you and the family. Please thank your parents for the amazing things that they're teaching you, for you to be that amazing kid that he is. If you see Tommy out in public, y'all, thank him for what he's doing for our youth. I am going to get out of here, and join me next week. God bless. Good day.